Good morning, everyone. It feels like forever. One, since I've done a video coming to you from the kitchen, and two, just kind of done one. I know I did a tapping one not all that long ago, but I wanted to start with some updates. I've definitely been very inactive other than posting a few things in this group, and there's a number of reasons, but my website is getting redone. So I've been getting some work done on that. So that'll be exciting when I can sort of reveal the new website. I guess everybody likes to reveal them, but I love my web guy and I'm really happy with the work that he's done. So that's one. And then I spoke at a summit for single women that starts November 1st, and I posted the link in here and I sent an email out, and I'm on the first day and I'm talking about money. And it's the talk that I have isn't necessarily just if you're single. So if you want to catch that, and it's with a gal, Emily Kobeck, who's now kind of like doing the summit. She's really getting the summit thing down. So that's pretty cool to see. And then I'm going to rerun my transformational tapping certification. The plan is to do it in January now, along with the amazing power of what if course. So I've decided those are two courses I'm doing, and that's it. And I've really gotten clear, having done this for over 10 years now. I see a lot of mistakes that I've made, and just being all over the place. You know, I'm glad I wrote the books, but writing books, doing all these different programs, and it's just become abundantly clear to me to kind of hone down into these two things: the certification, which is for people that want to get certified in tapping, either for themselves or to add it on as a tool if you're a coach or a therapist or helping anyone. And that'll run again in January. And the thing with that is I am going to offer, which I did last time, an affiliate fee. And it's super simple. So if you tell anybody about it and they come in, you're going to get 20%. I just doubled the price. It used to be you'd get 10%, and I upped it to 20 just because I thought, you know, it's just good to share that and make it significant. So if somebody came on board, you'd get basically either $500, either $500, or if they do the 12-month payment plan, you'd get more because they're charged more for doing payments. So that's just something that, and I'll repost that affiliate link as it gets closer. And then the amazing power of what if I just sort of kind of put that aside for a while just to get the website done and get my bearings straight about a lot of things. So what I want to tap on, that's just some of the announcements. And I was at a conference in Seattle for the Institute for Conflict Resolution and spoke 2 times at that. So that was really cool. And then my friend Christy Foster was there as well. So what I wanted to tap on and talk about, and actually I'm going to tag somebody in particular. So you're going to have to bear with me on this. What I want to, now let me get out of here. There we go. I want to tap on this idea of thoughts that torment us. Now, torment might sound like a strong word to some. It's not to me, because I know when, and I love the way Eckhart Tolle talks about this, the conscious mind. So the mind that we have as a human, in a body, as a human, having a human experience. And so there's that mind. And then below all the thoughts that mind creates in the unconscious, below all that is our authentic self. And I'm saying authentic self. He doesn't use that. The truest essence of ourselves. Below all that is who we really are. You know, the beings that we really are below this incarnation as a human in a body. And the challenge for most of us, and I know this is true for me, and I've tapped for a long time, and I've done so many things to help with this, but I go through phases where it's super intense and I have to keep catching it. And I've been in one of those phases. And I've just noticed just in the last couple days, things have really lifted. And I believe in the power of tapping. I believe in the power of doing anything, not just tapping, but any tool you have in your kit to help you overcome those thoughts. So I want to tap on that. So if you have ruminating thoughts and they build momentum because one thought leads to another, and then before you know it, you're circling the drain and you're going down this rabbit hole that's like, oh my God, and you've tormented and terrorized yourself with thoughts. And it's not, I'm not saying that it remotely in a blaming way. You can't help it. You literally can't help it. I say it all the time. You can't stop your thoughts, but you can't interrupt them. So if we think we've got to stop them, we're screwed. If we think, oh God, I can just interrupt this over time, it's going to have a cumulative effect and have an impact. So let's tap. Karate chop. Even though I can have really tormenting thoughts, thoughts that build momentum, thoughts that really get to me, I choose to acknowledge my feelings now. Even though my thoughts can torture and torment me. They literally can. I deeply and profoundly accept myself now. Even though I have thoughts that really grab me, and when they have me in their grip, it's tormenting and terrifying. Especially as the momentum builds. But I'm open to seeing this differently now. And go to the eyebrow. These tormenting thoughts. And they become tormenting because they build so much momentum. And before I know it, my brain is off and running with thoughts that build a ton of momentum and eventually can terrorize me. And if I tell myself I have to stop them, that's its own problem too. So what if I can just honor all of this, excuse me, and set the intention to become mindful of my thoughts. It's a practice, and it takes time. And I might feel like I try and fail, but if I keep attempting it, what if over time those thoughts start to soften and I start to feel better? I kind of like that idea a lot. And what if it's worth a try? So take a breath. So there's two parts to this that I see. So that's just to engage the brain and go, well, what if I could see this differently? Hey, Barbara, what if like, oh, my thoughts are getting momentum. And I can tell you, just so you know, for me, who's tapped for a decent amount of time, over a decade, mine get going. And then I'm like, oh my God, like they're off and running. Oh, jumping in a bit, like that's totally cool. You can go back and tap through that part and get the updates. Great to see you, Barbara, and I miss you too. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. So what happens is the momentum gets going, and it was like, so for me, it was like, oh my God, I'm in this phase and my thoughts are just dragging me dragging me down. There's a horror movie called, I haven't watched it, thank God, literally called Drag Me to Hell. And I will tell you, at its worst, mine are like that. And I think mine can get that bad due to just my religious upbringing that had a lot of torment and terror that was instilled in me. And I totally understand other people, they don't go to that tormenting, terrorizing place that's I would say in your face and really visible. Theirs can be more subtle, which is actually a bit harder to catch. It's like, oh, you should call your mother. You never call your mother. Or, it'll talk to you in this logical, evidence-based way, which I've talked about, but it gets missed. And again, the way you know is, how am I feeling? How am I feeling? If I'm not feeling good, something's going on up here. There's momentum that's building. And so there's the human part of us that tapping can address that helps us to interrupt that. And it might be like, you're like, this isn't even helping. It can be tapping. It can be you just need to listen to something inspirational, but you want to do something to be mindful to interrupt the momentum before it really gets charged and going. And then there's that. The other part is, if you're a spiritual person, you don't have to be. That's why tapping is beautiful, and you follow the science. In this way, you can tap through that, and it helps calm the nervous system. And then if you have an active spiritual practice, I don't care what you call it, if it's God, if it's Mohammed, Buddha, the dinosaurs, Fred Flintstone, I always say the divine, source, the universe. Then that whole idea of taking it, like, to me, I think we're made this way by design. We can take ourselves so far, and then I believe why it might seem like we can't move beyond a certain point is because we're meant to tune back into, even if you don't believe in a God, a wiser part of ourselves, the authentic self. Or we're meant to develop a closer, more meaningful relationship with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I would tell you that's been so true in my life, and having grown up with a punishing, punitive God, I wanted nothing to do with the God of my understanding for a very long time. But as I've given that an upgrade, I'll call it, and shifted that, I absolutely see then I tap to ease myself, to calm my nervous system, and then I can go, I'm offering this up, I'm surrendering this to you, I'm turning this over to you. Here's how, like, trust in God, but tie your camel. Pray to God, but row to shore. I did my part, I tapped, I'm calming my nervous system, and this is too big for me. Of myself, I can't do anything. I can't figure this out. I can't stop this. I need help. And I think that combination is super powerful. And I think any time in my life that I've gone through suffering and struggling and torment, and I've gone through, I would say I've had my fair share. When I get to the other side, or when I start even creeping out of it, I've really come to believe and realize that it's never, ever, ever, ever meant to punish me. It's not the way I was taught. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't have to, personally, I don't have to ask for salvation for my soul, because I just don't believe in that personally. But I have to ask for help, if it's salvation or whatever, liberation to overcome what's going on in here. And I think that, for me, is by design to help us click in more with the authentic self, or develop that deeper, more meaningful connection, to expand ourselves and allow ourselves and our soul to evolve. So I know that was long-winded. My monologue, Barbara, great to see you. There is tapping here that I just finished, so you can go back and tap on it. I'll post this here shortly. So I hope you found this helpful, the tapping, and more to come. Bye for now.